Carbon-neutral flying Lufthansa Compensaid now available to corporate customers. For decades, the Lufthansa Group has been committed to a sustainable and responsible corporate policy. Now companies can also use Compensaid for their employees' business trips. The first customer is insurance provider AXA Deutschland. Thanks to Compensaid, the innovative digital CO2 compensation platform of the Lufthansa Group, flying carbon neutral is possible for individual travelers. Now companies can also use this option, simply and easily, for their employees' business trips. With the Compensaid corporate program, corporate customers have the possibility to use, for instance, Sustainable Aviation (FUEL) SAF for their air travel. With SAF, they can compensate the CO2 emissions produced when flying. This program allows companies to offset all their flights, whether they're with the Lufthansa Group or other airlines. The first customer is insurance provider AXA Deutschland. The company will offset its business-related air travel for an initial period of 3 years. CO2 neutral flying is already possible today. With Compensaid, we have a powerful tool for providing attractive and innovative offers to our customers. Offsetting is part of our strategy to cut our CO2 emissions in half by 2030 and achieve a neutral carbon footprint by 2050. We are delighted that with AXA Deutschland, we have gained a partner that shares our vision of sustainable mobility, explains Christina Forster, Lufthansa Group Executive Board Member for Customer, IT and Corporate Responsibility. Air travel compensation with Compensaid is done either through the use of SAF, the sponsorship of certified climate protection projects, or a combination of both options. AXA Deutschland's offsetting starts with 15% via SAF and 85% through selected climate protection projects. This results in the complete CO2 neutrality of all the flights. Sustainability in general and combating climate change are essential aspects of our AXA strategy. Our dedicated sustainability team in the AXA Innovation Campus are always on the lookout for innovative concepts, and Lufthansa's Compensaid offer came exactly at the right time for us. The future offsetting of carbon emissions generated by our flights is another definitive step towards reducing our carbon footprint and another string to our bow in our determination to achieve carbon-neutral business travel, explains Sirka Lawton, Head of People Experience and responsible for AXA Germany's sustainability project. Sustainable aviation fuel refers to sustainable, non-fossil-based kerosene. Currently, it is primarily derived from biomass, such as used cooking oils. SAF is therefore a genuine alternative to carbon-based aviation fuels, and, in the long term, can allow for virtually CO2-neutral aviation. Besides the use of SAF, Compensaid also allows offsetting through certified climate protection projects. These include, for instance, the promotion of photovoltaic systems, the use of efficient stoves that require less firewood and therefore emit less CO2 into the atmosphere, or the replacement of diesel generators with systems that produce electricity from biomass. Companies participating in the Compensaid corporate program can choose the project that suits them best. Compensaid is the central compensation offer of the Lufthansa Group. The Lufthansa Innovation Hub launched the digital compensation platform Compensaid in 2019. Since then, it has been gradually expanded to include additional products. No matter what airline they choose, private travelers can calculate the exact CO2 emissions of their flight and offset them using the alternatives mentioned above. Lufthansa Group airlines have integrated Compensaid directly into the booking process. Frequent flyers will also find this option in the MILES and More app. Lufthansa Cargo also employs a compensation solution for CO2 neutral air freight. In November 2020, Lufthansa Cargo operated the world's first CO2 neutral cargo flight to Shanghai. For decades, the Lufthansa Group has been committed to a sustainable and responsible corporate policy and takes its responsibility seriously. The group is firmly committed to climate-friendly aviation, continues to invest in highly fuel-efficient aircraft, despite the current exceptional circumstances, and is steadily expanding its involvement in the area of sustainable aviation fuels. Lufthansa Group takes